Hello, I'm Johanna, the Alopecia Angel, and I healed and reversed my own alopecia areata naturally and holistically. Through everything I walked through, which took me over more than 3, 4 years, I started sharing what actually worked, and I never stopped. For 10 years now, I've helped adults and children in over 68 countries heal and reverse their own alopecia, their own hair loss, various different types of hair loss in less time. I'm here to tell you and to show you that you can heal and reverse your hair loss naturally and holistically, and it's 100% possible. So follow along every week. We talk hair, real success stories, client testimonials, the latest research, and so much more. Welcome to the Alopecia Angel podcast, Awaken to Hair Growth. Oh, John, thank you so much for coming onto the Alopecia Angel podcast and sharing your daughter's story, Sally, of her progress. We've changed names just to keep anonymity, but really, this is something that affects anyone at any age in any country around the world. And your daughter is a teenager. And so before coming to the Alopecia Angel program, the Hair and Heal program, how old was she? When did this start? What did you do before meeting me and having that initial call?
Okay, so her whole alopecia started when she was very young, like around the age of 3 or 4. And it was a very tiny spot. That's when it started. And then we went through few occurrences throughout her life up until the age of 13, 14. Up until then, it was like very tiny, penny-sized spot that used to occur once in 2 years, and then it was going away. We were just paying attention, and then we were just moving along. But then come like when she became 13 is when the flare-up started to become worse. Her spots were becoming really big. And then we were worried, what is the puzzle piece that we are missing here, which is causing this whole thing? We tried, reaching out to the dermatologist. So what they gave us was the allopathy medication, which is basically the clobetasol or something like that. It's a mix of minoxidil and something. But we didn't want to take that at that point in time, or they gave us a JAK inhibitor, options. We didn't want to go any of that road because it was too much harsh on a teenage kid. There was another doctor we worked with because the first one, we didn't feel like he was quite getting the problem. So we moved on to the next one. So talking to him, we felt that he got the problem. He understood what's going on. See, you would be able to figure out, like based on talking to a doctor or someone, that whether this person is understanding the problem and is he taking the right diagnosis route. Are you really doing the troubleshooting, right? Or are you just like kind of shooting in the sky, right? That is exactly what made me think like, okay, so we tried the second one, and then the second one said like he threw a bunch of medications, and then okay, I said like, okay, let's give it a shot. And then we tried that, didn't work. And since she's an athlete, and what we started to observe is like her quad, she had quad injury, she was depleting in new energy, so many things were happening at the same time. So then we were like quite lost. And that's where I was exploring. And then God's grace, I came across a person named Jamie who posted about you guys, because he went through you guys and then he figured out a way for his daughters to how to recover and all that. So that kind of gave me hope. I'll be openly honest that even though that gave me hope, I was skeptical because there are so many programs out there, because trying to make use of the vulnerable people, right? That's how it is actually. I'm being very honest, right? As a first person, that is exactly how I would feel. Or even if anybody who is going to come to you is what they're going to feel. They don't realize the value of what you have done. Joanna, I know it might be very exaggerating, but in all real honesty, I really don't know why you're doing this, but you could have just done with yourself, oh, I'm good, I can go myself, and you could have been selfish. But you took the effort, courage, to not pursue a career in your life and go different directions, make money, but then you took this direction to see how you can help people is a big decision, to be honest. I don't know how many people will see that, but I see that actually. So I really appreciate what you did there. And I'm not flattering. This is all coming from my heart and it's all honest feedback and opinion. So I was skeptical as well, but then what I thought was like, no, why? We have tried so many things. We have spent so much money. Why not we have a consultation with her, see where it takes us? And that's how we started. So when we had the consultation, or even before we had the consultation, I reached out to Jamie. I spoke to Jamie. His feedback was like, you should definitely try the program with Johanna because there are different reasons why alopecia could kick in, and there are different varieties. Me giving bits and pieces of information of what I did through the program is not definitely going to help you resolve your problem. His feedback was like, you should definitely try the program end to end to see what your gaps are. And that's where Johanna and her team can help you identify what the gaps are rather than you going to try and figure out things on your own is not going to help us, was one of the important feedback that he gave him, because that's what people think, right? When they come in, oh yeah, I could save some money, let me not do this, I got the information, let me go do this, right? That's what people think, but that's not what it is. you really need real guidance to troubleshoot. Troubleshoot is a very, very, very important word that people have to understand, because I come from computer science background. Troubleshooting and problem solving is a key characteristics that a person should have in this world. And this should be with the doctor as well. But this is more often used in the computer science world than the field of doctors, actually, because they do troubleshoot as well. But we don't realize that, right? Like when you go, you say you have fever, they ask questions, right? What kind of fever you have? When did it occur? What did you eat? So all these questions are basically troubleshooting and diagnosis through which they figure out like what exactly could have caused the problem. And so then they can give you the right medicine to cure you, right? So that is an important process as a part of the cure. I understood that because I come from that background. So that's when we decided, like, okay, so this sounds right and more reasonable and it makes sense, right? So with that aspects, that's when we try to engage with you. And when we engaged with you, the first call was fantastic. You gave us so much hope, confidence. You were with us because there is not any person in the medical industry, at least in the United States, who is ready to travel with you, right? All they are busy. I mean, the doctors, providers, nurses, they are all busy. They have a 9 to 5 job. They come in. The 15 minutes that you spend with them is all what they have, right? Like they said, oh, yeah, I think you have this. Okay, go try this. That's it. Boom, gone. But then that's where I saw the difference that you are traveling with every single person that you're working with. That confidence, is what made me feel like, okay, we are not alone. You are with us, right? So that gave us the confidence. Then we decided to move on with the program. And I have to also appreciate, in all honesty, that you had three options in the program: the first, second, and third. If you were to make money, you could have easily persuaded us into the bigger tier and then made more money. But you were very honest. You clearly laid out the options. You said for your situation, you need the middle tier wherein I can pitch in and my team can pitch in to guide you. You're very, very fair. I'm saying all this information because people who are going to listen to this, they should know how you approach and how things work. I'm not trying to market or sell for you. And I know I'm working anonymously on this program, but if people need to talk to me, I'm very open for you to share my number and they can reach out to me. I'm open to help them out because if that would give them the confidence, right? You definitely recommended that middle tier program. The way how you dealt with the whole process was so nice and very consoling and supportive. And from then on, I don't know if I answer your question, and if I'm moving on, stop me and tell me. I'm telling the whole story because it's all coming from me. There is no written note or anything in front of me. It's all from my mind. So I'm just talking through that. During our initial calls, you were impressed with how I had all the historical milestones as what happened and when it happened, and that also aligned both of us in the right direction. Okay, so you wanted that because that is very important for troubleshooting and diagnosis and planning, like figuring out what could have exactly caused this trigger and all that, right? It was a fantastic kickstart with you on that program. I'll stop there, Johanna, and then we'll take it from there. I'll let you ask more questions.
Okay. Well, thank you. Thank you, John, so much for your words. It is very common to have skepticism. It is very common. And I see that, and I appreciate what you had to say about that, because you're not the first client who's come to me super skeptical, and I'm sure you won't be the last. And this, I appreciate you coming on the podcast, telling your story, your daughter's story, and really it's your family's story of going through this hair journey for your daughter, right? Ever since she was 4 years old.
Right.
But let me ask you, and just to clarify, before she was 13, ever since she was like 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, or did that alopecia just kind of resolve on its own?
Initially, when we had the first occurrence during her age of 3, 4, we had to use some medication, which was basically steroids. That's what the doctor prescribed. And we tried that, but then I didn't see any difference. So what I told my wife was like, just let's wait, to see if it cures by itself, because these medications are going to cause more side effects for that little child. I honestly would say like it didn't make any difference. Maybe we saw very minute follicles, but then like nothing happened actually, to be honest. So we had to wait and see. And then like maybe after 6 months, everything came back to normal and it was all good. And then later during her age of like 7, 8, 9, and in future occurrences, it resolved by itself actually. We didn't do anything at all. Like because the first occurrence and how it resolved naturally gave us confidence, saying that there is something else going on. Let's wait for the body to cure itself. If it becomes worse, then we can start intervene, right? That's how we thought. And then we just didn't do anything.
Sure. Okay, well, great. Thank you for that clarity. My other question that I had for you, so at what point did you get over the skepticism and realize that this was 100% legitimate? And at what point did you start seeing hair growth? Which week?
The skepticism, I would say, it started to go away as and when the more and more we started to talk with you. I think when we were reviewing our results, right? So our first call was just initial consult to determine which program we want to do and all that. And almost during that call itself, you made us feel confident that how we are going to approach this and attack this and get over. But then, like when we had all our results and when we went through the second call, that's our actual first consultation call, that's when you made me feel very comfortable. You made me realize that, okay, hey, these are the factors that could be causing it, and you were very confident about it. And then me having done so much research, you fell very much in line with my thought process that, okay, like we laid down everything. And when you laid down very systematically, that's when my skepticism slowly went away. And hair growth started to come back, I would say, within 8-10 days. We were like really shocked. We were really shocked. It's just 7 to 10 days. We started follicles, and then like we were like, what? Is this even possible? And then it slowly caught up actually. I have to share those pictures. Feel free to share it with everyone. I'll be in tears if I were to talk about it, because my daughter, she went for a party yesterday and she said, like, I felt very comfortable and confident after so many months. Because before that, there were so many patches. So it was very hard to patch up her hair. All that is big relief, Johanna. And people should see those pictures. They should trust. They should trust. So you may start in one direction. It may not be that one direction that could be helping you. So suppose if the first cycle doesn't help, you need to go back on the second cycle, quickly get back, try to diagnose more, find out, okay, oh, so maybe if this is not working, what else could be, right? It's all driven by facts through test and test results. It's not just shooting in the dark in sky, right? We are looking at the numbers, we are looking at what is happening. And the most important thing I wanted to add here for whoever is listening is, right, in United States or in the whole world, right, there are two streams of treatment: the actual medicinal line where people have earned a degree and they're all doing the treatment and all that. There is the second line of treatment where people have figured out how to cure diseases by their experiences and through functional medicine. It's not pure playing around, it's pure by the test results and the facts, right? So all I'm saying is that we need to trust that path. Most of the, you name it, like cancer or so many of the autoimmune disorder people who have got cure are all who have taken this path, not the medicinal actual path, because they are by the books. They would just say like, oh, if it is this, go eat this. If it is this, go do that. They don't have the time. I'm not blaming them. They don't have the time. Poor people, poor doctors. If you ask them from the heart, they would say like, I really want you to become cured and be healthy. That's what their intent is. But the system doesn't allow them to do that, right? So that is where people are looking for alternative medicine. And that's where I would say like you're coming into play. I might have deviated here and there, but I'm just trying to give as much as possible when it comes to.
Thank you. Thank you. So she started seeing hair growth in 7 to 10 days, and
That's
you
correct.
and your wife were amazed. By the time she started the program, how much hair loss did she have? Was it just like one patch or two? Would you say it was 50% of hair loss completely? Did she lose eyebrows or eyelashes? Like, what are we looking at? Because sometimes people think in their mind, oh, this little girl, maybe she just had one patch.
No,
Maybe she
no,
had two little patches. But
no.
I remember those pictures that you sent me,
Yep.
and I welcome more. It was devastating to see so much hair loss in a young teenager who,
Mm,
is in the pinnacle of her youth, going through all the things in high school, bad and ugly, as an
mhm.
athlete. There is a lot of weight with that. So you don't take that lightly. I don't either. And
Yeah,
so, how
yeah.
much hair loss do you think she had when she first started the program?
I would say she had a close to 40 to 50 percentage actually. The patches were really huge. A big one on the left side, a big one on the back, and another big one, little less than the other two ones on the right side, and then patches all around. So she went through her 1 year of high school just using whatever hair she had left to cover up the whole patch. And she had white hair coming out as well. And to cover those patches, she used, it's kind of a black powder that they just kind of put it so that doesn't look like. And she had gone through a lot of criticism. I mean, not criticism, like more of ridiculing. One of the girls would ask, "Hey, why are you always doing a bun type of hairstyle?" Because she doesn't want to open the hair up. Because if she opens it up, it could show the patches, or it could be very thin hair. And that one person, she did not respect, and she doesn't know. So for that reasons, we could excuse her, but forgive her. But then, like, still, I wouldn't do this to anyone. Like not knowing what is going behind. You should be careful in what you ask, right? Like particularly when it comes to physical appearance. I cannot just go and ask like, hey, why are you black, right? Or why are you burnt here, right? Like there could have been reason why he's burnt, right? We should be careful in asking about anyone's physical appearance because they could have gone through so many of difficulties to be there. She had so much of difficulty and she had a percentage to 50% of hair patches, and it was big on so many places that I just mentioned. Yeah, I'll stop there, Johanna. I love to talk.
I can tell, but this is what makes a good podcast is that
Mhm.
I can tell you have a lot of stuff like just stored from
It's
this
coming out.
because yeah, and it's coming out and it's good to have a release because it's a lot. It's a lot
Mhm.
going through hair loss. And in your
Yeah.
case as a parent, you have a different perspective.
Mhm.
You're cautious. She's your baby girl. You want to take
Mhm.
care of her. You want to protect her. You want to do what's best. Like
Right.
this is where the fatherly love comes. And I saw that in you from day one, the
Mhm.
protector, the provider, the everything. And so I
Mhm.
think it's beautiful. I'm like tearing up as I'm
Uh-huh.
talking because it's
Yeah.
very beautiful.
There have been so many other difficult situations. One other thing was since she has to go for training in the morning, she has to shower after a training. Imagine how she has to shower. She has been a strong girl and she's a strong girl. I told her you should be proud of yourself because I don't know if any other girl would have handled it. If something happens to any other girl, I want her to handle it. That's what my prayer would be. But what you've been through and what how you handled it, and I'm so impressed. I mean, like you will live through any problems in your life. I praise her, and it's
No,
difficult. It's difficult. Yeah.
she's done fantastic, and so
Yeah.
have you. That also showcases your support, your wife's support, and anyone else living in the home.
I have to add
Now,
this. My wife's is. I know she's not in the presence. She's not in the a lot of the active conversations that we have had, or the many of the times. But she has been the pillar of me and Dar working together on this. She has been doing a lot of cooking. She's been doing a lot of thinking. She took care of the emotional support part of my daughter because who is also making this happen. She definitely was one of those pillars. Emotional support is not an easy thing. Every time she goes through that, she feels very stressed because she absorbed all that from my daughter, right? So that is very, very hard. So she did a bigger part on that. Go ahead.
so you started back in like February or March with me. We're like 5 months in. So where
Hmm.
is she now in terms of her hair growth? She started seeing hair growth immediately, 7 to 10 days after
Hmm.
the program.
Hmm.
And where is she now with her hair growth? Is it fully covered?
She's fully covered. Can you believe it? She's fully
Oh
covered.
man, I'm so excited.
Yeah, she's fully covered, and except that the length is picking up. There is still white hair that comes out, but then it picks up black after maybe 1 inch or 2 inch. It picks back up as black, and then it just grows fine. I know it's going to take a little time for the full hair growth to happen, but to be honest, all the spots, I'll take pictures and send it to you.
Okay.
All the spots have been fully covered. She's really doing good, actually. She's really doing good. Touch wood.
That's fantastic. What would you tell any parent or any child or anyone with alopecia who wanted to do the program, who was looking into it? What would you tell
Mhm.
them if they were on the fence?
I would say don't lose hope and trust. I would say there's a cure for everything, particularly in this case for alopecia. You've tried with so many patients, you work with so many patients, you have much more experience, and your team has much more experience. So I would say there is hope, trust and try, but follow to the dot. My daughter followed to the dot, more than the dot, because without it, we would not have been here. To your point, trust, hope, and try it to the dot. I'm positive, dead positive that you'll get your hair back.
Was there any point where you
Lost it.
doubted or any
No.
point where maybe you lost faith and you're like, oh, I
Mm,
don't know about
no,
Johanna?
no, no, not at all. Not at all. Because we were on the right track, Johanna, because the path and the approach we took, right? We took the right path because you go and put minoxidil, it will give you a temporary relief for a week or two. But then what happens after that? It'll come back again because you haven't fixed your root cause, right? Root cause is your problem. So fix your root cause, everything else will fall in place.
I love it. And in regards to troubleshooting, I want to come back to this because you have a tech background. I
Mhm.
have a tech background, and I think the
Mhm.
techies and people who are in tech have a different way of seeing things
Mhm. Mhm.
versus, just maybe other industries.
Mhm.
And I think the tech aspect and the troubleshooting, and of course, of wanting results. Whatever you're striving for, there's
Mhm.
way to always fix the problem. I think maybe that's part of my journey as well, that coming
Mm-hmm.
from Apple, I always knew I could fix this. I just didn't know
Mm-hmm.
how.
How
And in
exactly?
your case, when the two minds met, you're
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, this is it, because
People have to understand that this is the key and the critical component of this whole cure journey, the treatment path.
troubleshooting is definitely necessary. And you quickly find out who has experience and the expertise and the knowledge, because
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've gone through a gazillion practitioners myself, and
Mm-hmm.
a lot of times I was left to figure it out on my own, and that's exactly what I
Mm-hmm.
had to do. And so going back to your first questions, like, when you asked me, which I've actually never been asked, like, why are you doing this? You could have gone on and, lived your
Exactly.
best life and like forget everybody else. Well, I do this
Exactly.
because I feel like it was a calling. I do this because
Mm-hmm.
the amount that I suffered, I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to end the suffering in others. If I could reduce the amount of time of suffering for somebody
Mm-hmm.
else,
Mm-hmm.
that to me means so much.
Exactly. And I agree. I agree. Same to your point, when you make someone happy, it makes you happy, right? That is how I am. And I see that in you. I'm very little, but you're gone big, actually. That's how I would put it, actually. When people look at the cost that comes with this program, there's a lot goes on behind this. It's not just treating you. For you to give them this quality of the program and the support, and you're bringing in all the analysis and everything to their hands. It's a period of times analysis, working with so many patients. You're bringing a ton of information condensed into the necessary information that you need to know, rather than you having to go through, do all the research and like getting lost, right? That cost is, I would say, it's like very less, to be honest, because even like, you need to live a living too, right? So like I said, like you could have just gone ahead and like made tons and tons of money, but that's not your intent. You're doing this so that you can help more people, but the cost makes sense because you have to run the program so that you can continue this to help people and your family as well. So I would say the cost is very, very justifiable. That's how I would put it, actually.
It's 10 years of research experience, expertise, and it's
Mm-hmm.
not just myself that I've healed. I've healed
Mm-hmm.
thousands. So yeah, it
Right.
shows for sure. I
Right.
understand that. I wanted to say, have you, and I'm assuming yes, but
Mm-hmm.
you tell me, have you spoken to your daughter Sally recently, and how she's feeling with her full head of hair, and how she's feeling at home and at school and in her sports and in her daily life, and how healing completely and understanding how much
Mm-hmm.
control she has for the rest of her life, how this has changed her?
Mm-hmm. So she's very happy. That is for sure. She would not have gone to one of her friend's birthday party. She would not have gone if she was in her previous state. So that is a big change. And the word she said after she came back was that she felt very, 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 very comfortable, not have to think about like whether my spot will show up or what is going to happen, right? She did not have to think about it. Even though her hair is right now a little shorter, she was able to do her curls and all that. So she was happy about it. She loves her hair. And like up until last year or until her cure started, we could see a big difference between in the past 2 months versus before. Her face was not glowing. She was not happy. She was always dull and worried. What is going to happen? When is it going to happen? She was not sure. I don't know if this will reoccur. All these confusions was there. But now she's in control. She knows what she needs to do and how she needs to keep things under control. She's very happy. She knows what needs to be done, right? That makes her feel more confident and happy. Yeah.
Yeah, because there is a lot of uncertainty when you don't know what's happening, you don't know what's going
Exactly.
on.
Mhm.
There is a lot of uncertainty. Have you told or have you updated Jamie on the good news?
I haven't. I have to, actually. I was thinking about it last week. I have to. I have to talk to him, actually. Yeah.
Okay.
I
Yeah, I was
have to
going to
talk.
reach out myself and say thank
Yep.
you for
He'll
sending
be
me.
very happy.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure he would be. I know he's very passionate about this as well. Any last words or anything else that you'd like to share before we call this a close and a full episode?
I wanted to say about is the program, right? So if you have this problem and if you're approaching, I'm saying go with full heart, and the support is there, and feel confident, trust the program. Johanna is there to support you. I haven't had any single time that email went unresponded. Johanna, you always responded within like 24 hours, worst case, but then 99% you always responded within like 5 to 10 minutes or maybe less than an hour. That gave me a lot of confidence actually. And you've been checking on us as well. Even if we went offline, you always emailed us and asked us like, hey, how is it going and everything okay? You and your team. Anne was always checking on us saying that, guys, how are you doing? Is everything okay? So that level of support was itself very, very promising. It's that moral support that you don't get in any medical industry, the mainstream of medical industries. So it's a team. So trust. People may have a lot of questions. Just throw the questions away. Just trust the program, do it, and you'll definitely see a cue.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen. I mean, you summed it up because in reality, I always say healing is a choice.
Mm-hmm.
Just like going bald is a choice, just like having any disease is a choice, even whether
Mm-hmm.
we know it or we don't know it.
Mm-hmm.
And going back to your troubleshooting, tech analogy, there's always a way out. There's always a way to fix it. And it's never
Mm-hmm.
too late. And it's really about how soon can we start? How soon can we
Right.
get going on the right path? So thank
Right.
you for
Right.
those encouraging words. Thank you for sharing your daughter's experience and your family's experience, because I'm sure there are so many teenagers now experiencing this. She's not the only one. I've had many, many, many teenagers do the program, many, many children who are 8, 9, 5 years old do the program.
Mm-hmm.
And as a parent myself, I
It's
would only
heartbreaking.
something, it is heartbreaking, but I know there's a solution, and it's
Yep.
really about committing
Mm-hmm.
and saying, yes, I want to commit to the natural, holistic way of healing and being done with it. Like
Yeah,
knowing
exactly.
my blind spots, knowing my triggers, knowing
Mm-hmm.
what it is that's holding me back,
Mm-hmm.
living my best
Exactly.
life. Because literally, by the time she's 26, or,
Mm-hmm.
let's move in the future, by the time she's
Mm-hmm.
26, she's not going to even remember this. This is going to,
Yes,
and I
exactly.
say this because I feel the same way. More than
Right.
10 years ago, I had this. And even though I dealt
Mm-hmm.
with it for 4 years, it's done.
Yeah, now we know what the triggers are, so we are cautious and careful. Take an immediate step to fix it and just move on, right? So, a couple more things I wanted to add was like food is medicine, medicine is food. So trust that, and that is biggest thing I wanted to say. And the second biggest thing I want to say, like your body has the intelligence to take care of itself. All we need to give it is the environment and let it do its thing. So trust those two things. Food is medicine, and second thing is that your body has the intelligence. There is no doctor in the universe that can heal your body except your body. So give it the environment and the right food. It will take care of itself. I'm positive. I'm very, very positive about it actually. Trust those two things, and you will see the results.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time, for joining the program, for entrusting me with your
Mm-hmm.
family's health, your daughter's health. And I'm so, so, so happy to know that she has full hair growth in just 5 months. And
Mm-hmm.
she started seeing hair growth in 7 weeks. And
Mm-hmm.
everything has been just
7 days, 7 to 8 days.
7 to 8 days. That's crazy. I
Yeah.
love it. So I'm very excited for her future. And then, of
Mhm.
course, just keep me in contact and up, into the latest of what she's up to. So I'm rooting for her. Send her my best, please.
Yeah, sure, sure, definitely, Johanna. And then, like I said, pull me into any conversations wherever you need me to talk through, give people confidence or answer questions. I'm there. If you need any recipes or how our journey was, I was even thinking to write about it and share it with you. You can post it anonymously. I'm there to support as a part of this effort that you're doing. I'm always there to support. Whatever I could do, I will definitely do to help you.
I appreciate that. Thank you
Yeah,
so much.
thank you so
Well,
much, Johanna.
it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much again.
Yeah,
And I will talk to you soon.
yeah. You take care.
Take care.
Bye
Bye
bye.
bye. Before you go, hear me out. Healing is possible. For so long, it was never even offered to you as an option. That changes now. The Hair and Heal program is my proven natural method for reversing alopecia and hair loss from the root, discovering root causes, uncovering triggers, and looking at all the blind spots. Come learn more at alopeciaangel.com. I'll see you next week.